Hey everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. In this video, I want to talk to you about the first 6 roles, or these roles can be filled by 5-6 champs depending on how lucky you are with the champ pools when you start the game. But these are the initial roles that you have to fill, so you can play the game in different area and progress till you get better champs. A disclaimer I want to make before displaying the champs and talking about the roles themselves. These are not specific. If you get better champs to fill the same roles, same buffs, same debuffs, then you go with the better champs. But the only recommendation I have for you is that try early game, especially if you are a low spender, to stick to rare and epic champs. If you pull a Lego champ who fills one of these roles perfectly but needs the books Lego books are the most expensive and rarest in the game, so a rare or an epic fully booked might be more effective than a Lego that's not booked. So let's think about this while thinking about roles and replacements here. So let me zoom in a little bit and I'll start talking about these specific roles. And what you're looking for early game is champs to fill these roles. And if a single champ fills more than one role, that's a perfect choice for you. Because building champs and maxing them, getting their masteries, is hard early on. It gets easier as you progress in the game, but so you almost necessarily need champs that fill more than one role. So let's start talking about this. The first role and your first 6-star, which should be Kayle, your starter champ, unless you get super lucky early on and get someone else. Why Kayle is so good in that initial spot? Because he's an AoE damage dealer, so he can be your campaign farmer, he can be your dungeon damage dealer for waves, and a poisoner, someone who puts debuffs, specifically poison. This is the best way early on the clan boss. So basically he's filling 2 roles. What other options do we have? For example, one of the best poisoner roles for clan boss is another rare, Frozen Banshee. But Frozen Banshee will be your dedicated poisoner for clan boss. So if you get a Frozen Banshee early on and you want to max her specifically for clan boss, that's fine. And you have an AoE damage dealer who will handle that other role, campaign farmer and dungeon wave damage dealer, that's totally fine. But you're replacing one slot here by 2. Okay, second role. So AoE damage dealer and poisoner. Second role, which is a farmable champs. I put the easiest options here on the screen, but you feel free to replace them with better ones. Defense down weaken or defense down and weaken if you get a Draco, Venus, or someone like them. Basically a debuffer. Someone who puts negative debuffs on the enemy to weaken the enemy team, negative effects. War Maiden is great there because she's farmable from the campaign. It's a good place to farm anyway for experience, and then you can book her and everything. She puts 100% defense down on the enemy, the big versions, the good versions that you want going into the game. And this A3 also hits hard if you give her some crit rate. So she's like a secondary damage dealer and also a debuffer. Basically, very early in arena, if she goes in Kayle, that's the enemy team gone. So defense down and weaken is your second role that you need filled here, or a debuffer. Third role is a buffer for your team. Why I put Spirit Host here? Because she falls off pretty early in the game, but she provides a couple of very good buffs there. Actually, she provides 3 things which are major here. She has a speed aura, that's rare early on, a good one. She cleanses the team. She has a full team cleanse and a blue buff. 5 turn cooldown when it's booked, so it's a bit long. She puts increased attack, so she can buff your team there. And she hits moderately okay. Like I said, she's going to fall off pretty early in the game, but this is what you're looking for. She's cleanser, she puts attack up to increase your damage from your Kayle and your War Maiden. So that's the role she's filling there. So you want a buffer and you want a buffer for your team. Fourth role here, is it fifth? Fifth role here, if I can count, is speed or turn meter booster. Apothecary is huge. He's one of the best. He's beating half of the epics and some of the bad Legos there. He boosts the turn meter. I think he boosts the turn meter. He puts speed up, and he's one of the great healers in the game. Does he boost the turn meter? Shame on me if I forget. Oh yeah, he does. So he's one of the best. If you got an Apo early on, don't hesitate, just max him. He fills 2 roles, so basically the 2 champs that fills 2 roles here are the top 3. So if you get them, just do it. Demisha, what's her name? That you'll get from your referral accounts. Does she has healing? Yeah, so she also is a healer and reviver. Reviver is the last role that you want filled because attack champions, unless you get lucky with the defense-based one, will can die on waves or in arena, and having a reviver on the team is good. So in arena, you might not get a chance to revive them and have a second turn. But what I've put here on the screen, most of the content in game, except arena, has a 5 like 5 members team. So if you build these 5 champs early on or their replacements, the better ones, you're covered in all areas, even in clan boss very early on. Though clan boss will need speciality later on. For example, if you go with arena, you'll go with the top 4. So Apo will be your fastest champ, filling the turn meter and putting speed up. Then Spirit Host comes second to put attack up. Then boom boom, War Maiden and Kayle will take the other team down. So that's your arena team. The 5 of them will be your dungeon team, your like everywhere else basically, and Kayle will be your campaign farmer, of course. So without dragging this any further, look for these specific roles and which champs in the game fill them. If you have better champs, use them early on. Just keep in mind that you have enough resources, especially the books, to book these champs. And you can add 1 or 2 more for speciality. If you have a better damage dealers, then add Frozen Banshee, so and so. But yeah, but make sure that these roles are filled early on, that you start building champs for specific content. Sorry, for clan boss or arena or somewhere else. That would be all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some benefit out of it. If you like it, please like and subscribe to the channel, and see you next time. Bye.